Okay. Hi guys. Okay, so I created a really cool presentation about creating content. So Kelly, Sarah, thank you for being live on the call. I know not everybody can make it, so I'm recording it. Um, but I wanted to talk to everybody about creating content that's meaningful and eye-catching and is just going to help build our business, because I know that's a hard thing to just kind of, okay, I'm coaching now what do I say about it? So I know it's a hard transition and it's out of a lot of people's comfort zones. So I wanted to kind of go over how I've been creating content lately and how I've just been, getting out of my comfort zone slowly but surely. And you can see if you scroll back into my feed too, like you can see how different and like how my content has evolved. But it's so important that we keep our content eye-catching and engaging and consistent so that it's like Emily Favre always compares it to a storefront. Like if you're not posting every day, people think your store is closed. So my general rule is to post on my Instagram feed 1 to 3 times a day, preferably 3. And it doesn't all have to be crazy, in-depth storytelling posts, because frankly, like I got sick of those for a while. And if somebody was telling this long drawn out story, I'm like, okay, I don't know. Some of them I like maybe 1 a day, and that like will either go into like a story like that, and those are like the stories that go deep into my heart. Like those are my meaningful stories. The ones that are really long are like, okay, this is really meaningful to me. I'm not just like posting long things to post long things. So not everything has to be long and crazy thought out and a big, production, but you should have like 3 eye-catching posts a day. Okay. So there's that. I also want to say that if you YouTube creating content with Ashley Molstead, she has a really great presentation and goes over a lot of, how to get good lighting. You always want to sit by a window, make your pictures really eye-catching and beautiful and switch it up. We don't always want to be showing up in our sweaty workout stuff. Like show variety, put your hair down and curl it and do cute like top buns like Sarah. Or if you're like me and I wear my hair down all the time, throw it up in a messy bun, like make it different. But Ashley Molstead has a really great video on creating content. So I pulled a little bit of this from her, a little bit of this presentation from Ashley Laughlin, who's another coach that I just found through our Diamond Dash, who I'm like really resonating with. And then I'll share with you guys just some things that I've done to make it my own too. And that's a thing too, when you guys find a coach that you resonate with, or you find somebody online that you find inspirational, figure out what you find inspirational from them and take that and make it your own. You don't have to, I don't ever want you to copy somebody's content, but when I'm struggling, I'm on Ashley Laughlin's page, I'm on Haley Christian's page. I'm just looking through their posts and trying to think, how can I not duplicate that, but put my own twist on it, especially if I'm having a day where I'm like, I just don't feel like posting. Like, not every day I do. So don't be afraid to look for inspiration elsewhere, but be very careful not to duplicate and like copy a caption. I mean, my heart would just break if you did that, especially, in the field. Like, I always think like HIPAA stuff and just like everything. Like if I saw somebody steal, I told you, my slides without asking me, and I'm like, girlfriend, like there are some ground rules here. Like I am flattered you like my stuff, but please don't screenshot my stuff and use it as yours. Like for you guys, it was like my morning meltdown stuff. And I'm like, of course, anything my team, but this girl is like not in my team at all. I was like asking her to be a coach, and then she ghosted me, and then I see her using my stuff. So don't be that person. Right? I messaged her, I said, I'm so glad you decided to coach, but please don't steal my content. So don't be that girl. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. There we go. Share. You see my tabs with Lizzo?
I love her.
You know, I'm like, I can't stop. Okay, so creating meaningful content. So these are the takeaways I want you to get from this presentation is we're going to talk about struggle and success maps. We're going to talk about storytelling, call to actions, the content mediums that are available, and then why we do this, which I kind of hinted at, but this is just a little bit more in depth. So a struggle and success map. We've done on this team, we've done maps about ourselves. We've like done a tree and like talked about different versions of ourselves. Well, I want to break that down into things that we struggle with personally and things that we're successful with. So the coach that I took this from described that her team only did a struggle map. And I thought about that. And yes, that's a very important piece to us. And that's what people are going to relate to our stories on. We're going to build trust that way. But I don't want us to just focus on the struggles that we have in life. So I want us to still focus on the success that we've had in our lives too. And that's success, especially with this business and what it's given you, but just in general. Why are you a successful person? Why are you like give yourself accolades for, you know, going to grad school. Like when you got your bachelor's degree, you got your master's degree, you're a full-time speech pathologist. Like that is something to be very proud of. So talk about how you've been successful in your life in Beachbody ways and in non-Beachbody ways. And people are going to resonate with that. And it's going to help you find your tribe. Like I want more me's in my family. So if I share about things that I struggle with, but also things that like in the past I've succeeded with, then, you know, I'm just you're opening up that door for all those people to be relating to you in one of those branches of your life. So one thing that I think if you create this map, so this is just like a snippet of mine. Obviously the things that are in gray are my struggles, toddler mom struggles, anything with Abigail, bedtime, stuff like that. My miscarriage, my stay-at-home mom status of like feeling trapped, not earning any income. Those are all things that, and I know I struggle with more than that, but those are all things that I've connected with other people with. And yes, it was hard to talk about at the beginning. Ryan, can you please turn that down? Sorry.
I thought that was outside for me.
No, he's watching the show.
Start the PowerPoint.
I
don't know if it's just me. It's like frozen.
Oh.
Maybe.
Wait, no, it's on mine. It says my screen sharing's paused. I don't know why it is. Hold on. That's so weird.
I have like 4 of them.
Why did it do that? Let me try again. See, this is why we need a new house too, so that I have my own office that I can do my calls in. Oh, where did it go? Is it not sharing? Weird.
I forgot I was muted. I'm frozen in a really nice way on there.
You're frozen? I'm not.
Like the screen that you're sharing with, like
we're frozen on that
screen
that you're sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I stopped sharing everything. And now I'm going to log back into Canva.
Shouldn't be that much longer. Okay.
And I have something really good to say too, so I don't want to lose it. Go to my designs. This.
No. Side note, while you're doing that, have you guys watched Mindhunter yet?
Oh.
We love like psychological stuff, like what like criminals think about. I don't know. Anyway, so it's all about that. So like we've been like sucked into it. I go, hey, we're not gonna be like, I shouldn't be like that much longer. And he goes, oh, I'm gonna start watching Mindhunters without you. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why it's not sharing. Is it still not sharing?
I'm frozen again. Now I have a really, like, it's even worse. This
Okay, I
screen.
don't know what's happening. Okay, I'll just share the PowerPoint afterwards. So
Okay.
I'll keep going. I don't know why it got messed up. But anyway, so I wanted to say that, like, talking about my miscarriage on social media, especially and in my Instagram stories and in my posts, is not easy for me. And it wasn't easy when I first started sharing about it, my first post, when I first said it out loud. That's why I kind of had a like take back moment when Andrea was telling us her story, because I remember just saying that out loud, even if it was just to my phone, I didn't know who was going to listen, was just like such a take home piece for me. And it was uncomfortable, but on the other end of that was such a freedom and like release. And it was like so cathartic to have my story out there. And it really was like selfishly, like I started sharing my story, and at first it was really hard to share that, but now it's like I don't talk about it easily still, but it's something that I can breathe a little bit easier sharing that. And so I don't mean to share your struggles in a way that like is sappy or you're like crying on your Instagram stories. That's not what I want you guys to do. But I want you guys to just feel empowered after you share. And that's the goal of it. And to let people in and let them see you be vulnerable and let them see that you're a human. Like, I don't want to follow somebody who's, all the time dancing pretty and perfect. And your audience doesn't want that either. So, when you're sharing your struggles, keep that in mind, that people care, and it's something that's going to be helpful for you too and the other person on the other end. This is also going to help you figure out your brand. I feel like I still struggle with what my exact brand is. I feel like a lot of coaches have theirs nailed down pat. I kind of switch in between what I think my brand is and if this is even a brand. But the more you share what your struggles and successes are, you're going to start building that brand, but you have to kind of do it. You guys have to do these things to narrow that down. So, one of the takeaway tasks I want you to do is, obviously make a struggle and success map, and it's ever changing. It's not something that's static, that this is going to be just because you wrote it on the map after this team call, it has to be what you post about all the time. No, if that's not working, switch it up. But have this somewhere where you find inspiration with it. Maybe have it on your phone.
Just message said she was going to get on in a second.
Oh, cool. But yeah, it's going to help you create variety in your posts too. So maybe you think your brand is, toddler mom struggles, but if I only talk about toddler mom struggles, I'm only going to get people with toddlers talking about their struggles. So you want that variety too. And I don't want all my posts to be toddler mom struggles, miscarriage. Oh yeah, I'm struggling with my toddler again. Oh yeah, she's talking about, how she had a miscarriage. Like, they've already heard that story. And if I just keep talking about those two things, that's not, you wouldn't want to follow me, right? So having this just laid out, you're going to have a nice, so you feel organized in your post, and that your audience is getting a nice variety from you too. So looking at my map that for some reason you can't see, I know that I'm going to talk about coaching, I'm going to talk about income, then, maybe I'm going to talk about how Abigail's not sleeping. And then maybe I'll talk about, coaching is giving me flexibility in my day. So kind of mixing up those struggles and successes. And then always when you're struggling, use this as a platform to spin it to win it. You never want to just come on here and complain and don't have a solution for what you're talking about. And if you're in that moment and you're feeling like you're struggling with something, and you're thinking back to this call and you're saying, Grace told us to talk about our struggles, don't talk about it if it's not the right time. Okay? If you're not ready to spin it to win it, keep it on the back burner and don't talk about it until you're comfortable and it's going to be beneficial to you or your audience. Autumn, Shay talks about how she's been having marriage struggles, but she doesn't talk about it on her stories because it's not something, she's in it right now. You're in it right now and you don't have something to offer somebody who could be in that same situation. You're just going to bring somebody down. no, don't talk about it. I don't want you guys to air your dirty laundry on here. I want this to be something that's going to bring you closer to your audience. Okay. And then storytelling. So I'm so mad that you can't. I'm going to try to share it again. This is making me really sad.
Crystal.
I think it's sharing the Zoom call, but like, don't do that. Share the
Don't do that.
advanced sharing options.
This girl, I swear.
Is this better? Can you see? Yeah? Yeah. Yay. I fixed it. Okay. Yay, you can see my screen again?
Yeah.
Yay. Okay. So this, you guys saw that slide.
Can you go back?
Yep.
Okay.
That's just everything I talked, and I'll post this on the page too. But storytelling with your post. So this is something that I took from Ashley Laughlin's presentation, but take it back to your old school English class, have a beginning, middle, and end to your post, like tell a story, and this is going to make you write it easier. I remember Mia saying like it took her forever to come up with a post when we talked about content the other day. You guys, it shouldn't take 3 hours to come up with one post. Think about too, like a therapy session, Kelly. If you have 10 minutes to plan that session, you're going to plan that session in 10 minutes. If you have all night to plan it, okay, it's going to take you all night to plan it.
Right.
Don't overthink it. What I want you to do is just to start either Google Keep is a good app or just your notes app. And when you guys want to start building inventory in your photos too, start making albums and creating organization just within your phone so that these posts are a lot easier. Like I have albums in my phone that are before and afters, Abigail, coaches. Like I have your pictures saved in my phone as different albums so that when I do need to post, like I have a summit album, I just like go through and I pull from there. So I'm not like struggling and searching through thousands of photos.
That's my struggle.
And then you get down the wormhole. So create organizations so that you're working smarter and not harder. And a variety of length, like I said. I don't want to see a post somebody like every time, who is it? Lindsay Matway. Like I love Lindsay Matway. She's an amazing coach, but every time she posts, it's a giant novel. And I just don't want to read that. Like give me a fun one-liner. Like give me a 2-story thing about your, like a 2-sentence thing about that picture or whatever it is. So just have a variety of length in your captions. And then when you're writing, this is what I took from Ashley Laughlin and I love it. Write, just write in your notes and just keep writing and then split it up into little couple sentence, how you see in my example there, couple sentence spurts, and it's going to make it easier to read. And as you're writing it, you're going to read it back to yourself and say, that would be a good hook. And maybe you wrote it in the middle, but just take that phrase, stick it up top, Mia, and there's your hook. Like find the funniest phrase, find something that had the most like impact to you. Just throw that one sentence right at the top. Boom, that's your hook. So for my example, like this, and I will say that I not stole, but I copied Ashley Laughlin, one of Ashley Laughlin's posts that said goal weight, happy, comfortable, and confident. It wasn't exactly, I don't think those words, but I've seen those posts before. So it's not like I was, again, copywriting her post, but it was about the weekend. And, that was my hook. That was my, like, just a quick one-liner. Goal weight, happy, comfortable, and confident AF. And then I go into my storytelling. So the beginning. So again, you're just starting your post like you're writing an old school English paper. This weekend, I ate French fries, barbecue chips, tater tots, and ice cream. Like, oh my God. But then this morning I had superfood oatmeal, raspberries, broccoli, turkey meatballs for lunch. And each of these foods fueled my body and my spirit in a different way. You're not defined by what you eat and shouldn't derail your health kick. I used to think if I messed up with my food one time, I should just call it quits, and that makes zero sense. I was sick and tired of living in the cycle. So this I was sick and tired is my end. Like, why was this post? Why did I tell you all this? What was the reason that I told you that beginning and middle part? And at the end, this is the most important part. And I know it's hard. And if I look back at my posts right now, like not every single one has a call to action. So I'm like not speaking, like I'm doing what I'm asking you guys to do, but I'm working on it. So most of my posts do. So most of my posts, especially now, have a call to action at the bottom. And a lot of top coaches say each of your posts need to have a call to action. And the call to action can be something simple like this one says, just drop a heart for deets. And then on the next slide, I have some more call to actions. But I want to say from this slide too, your post, like do not ever feel defeated if you make a post and it doesn't get, this is one of my most popular ones, 33 likes. Like that's pretty high for me. Do not ever feel defeated, especially as your journey is going longer and longer, as you're, making more and more posts and showing up like this. Not all of your posts are going to have 1 million likes or anybody drop a heart for deets. It's not about that. You're giving them the option. You want them to have an actual step to follow, and that's super important. But don't get caught up on how many likes it has, how many views it has, whatever the insights are. Don't get caught up in that, because where the magic is like seeing how many people viewed it and interacting with people, the people that did like it, and people are seeing your content whether they like it or not. So don't ever get defeated by how many likes a post gets. But that's also going to tell you too, like you're going to start to learn what your audience wants. And if you're seeing a lot of people interact with posts about coaching, which would be wonderful, that would never happen just because coaching posts do not get a lot of interaction, you're going to know that they want to learn more about coaching. Or maybe it's like you keep posting about meal substitutes and people really like that, but they're not like really liking your workout videos. Okay, well, you're learning about your market. I'm talking with my hands a lot tonight. I know that. Okay, so some call to actions that I've found that work well is, drop a heart. I use that one a lot. I think Facebook is catching on to this one. I would say like at the beginning or at the end, like this post if da-da-da-da-da. And then I'd follow up and be like, oh, like this post if you want more information. And I'd follow up and be like, oh, thank you for liking my post. Like, I can't wait to tell you more about the group. And people be like, oh, like they'd either ghost me or be like, oh, I didn't know like you were going to, like they weren't really asking for information, but some of them were. So you can always try that call to action out. I'm really trying to get better at like the links in my bio. I have a really great team, Grit and Grace application going right now, and I'm really pushing coaching. So get your link tree going, tell them to fill out a simple form. That's also going to tell you like who's taking it seriously. If somebody takes the time to fill out a form, that's awesome, because that means that they're really serious or like really interested in what you have to offer. Some other call to actions, drop a gift, share with a friend is one that I'm going to start using a lot more too, because that's going to tell this audience that like they can share this with other people, and that's going to get more eyes on your stuff. And it's just a more community like driven call to action. So that was a new one that I learned from, again, Ashley Laughlin, who's becoming one of my favorite coaches right now. But avoid specifics, like avoid saying like, let's do it or join me, because then they're just like kind of out there and there's not any specific call to action. So a call to action is a specific thing you want them to do. And yeah, those are some examples. And in your stories too. So that's where I was going at with my next slide. So like I said earlier, like I try to post 1 to 3 times on my Instagram feed. And you guys are friends with me on Instagram and Facebook. You see that I just copy and paste my post from Instagram and Facebook for the ones that pop up on my feed. But then in your stories too, use those call to actions in your stories. You should have like 1 to 2 call to actions a day in your Instagram stories. I don't know if, I think Sarah still uses Snapchat, so go ahead and like just test it out. Like, what social media sites are you on? Maybe maybe somebody on Snapchat will want to be.
And my family, okay.
You never know. And then in real life too, like if you're talking to somebody, I have like 3 hustlers in the group now. 3? Amanda, Allison, 2 or 3, at least 3 that were interested. But then I met on a playground. And at the end, like, yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking and I was really nervous to be like, hey, what's your Facebook name? But like I did, like Sarah was with me one time at the library too. And I was like, hey, what's your Facebook? Like, I'll just like message you and we can chat. And it's a little weird, but like they give it to you and like they're not that creeped out if they, give it to you and want to connect. I mean, it's those things that like, yes, it's awkward at first, but the more you do it and like think about the benefit on the other end, like, yes, they're going to help you grow your business, but you could be really helping change their life too. Like Amanda Burnett, like she hasn't been posting a lot in the group, but we've been connecting outside on messages. And she's like, I'm just really thankful that I'm seeing all this. So I almost have 100 hustlers in the group, but there's about 30 that see all the posts and interact, but there's 70 that are still watching and still getting something out of it. So don't ever think that just because a post isn't like doing well that you're not making a difference. Okay. And this is kind of what I was just talking about. Why does this all matter? You're building trust with your audience. Your audience wants to know that you're going to be there. So that's why it's so important to show up every day. Like if you're sick, show up and talk about, just maybe one post about what's going on with you. Again, it doesn't have to be super detailed if it's something like crazy going on in your life, but like these people are following you, and think about somebody that you follow and like look to every day. Like if I just disappeared from my Instagram stories or didn't post, you guys would probably be worried, right? Like I've been so consistent over the last year that I'm sure this is how I was with my coach. Like I would wake up and watch her stories before I like got my day going. So like people are going to be like that for you, and you're going to be that mentor for them and that light that they look forward to seeing, and like they're curious about what's going on. They want to know like, oh, did Abigail sleep through the night tonight? Like they want to be invested in your life. So let them, and build trust with them. And your audience is going to get to know you. And this is also when you guys are building your team, like you're going to attract what you talk about. You're going to attract your style. So you want people on your team that are like you. And you want visibility out there. So post 1 to 3 times a day and be consistent, and proof that this product and this journey that you keep talking about is working. Like if you're telling me to join you, I want to see you show up every day. I want to see what's going on. Like, why should I join you? What are you talking about? If I don't have a clear vision in your post, if I can't look through your page and see what you're all about, why would I why would I do that? And then also this is going to create a library. You can repurpose your posts. They are your posts. You don't have to have 100% creative content every day. So you can go through and like pick a picture, post it again, maybe switch up the caption. You guys don't have to like reinvent the wheel every single day. And then educate. So again, like I gave you guys that content coach challenge, like teach me something about you, teach me something about like what's going on with you, teach me about the workouts, teach me about your personal development. Like your audience is like, just think about what you're searching for. Like I am like, hungry for new information and fun things. So like take that into consideration and give your audience things to take away. Like when I talked about last night, just like how I love sour cream, but I use Greek yogurt now. Like, okay, somebody can go to the store when they're on their next grocery shopping trip and say, oh, I heard Grace talk about using Greek yogurt. I'm going to try that. So I think that's, takeaway tasks. So I want you guys to start creating your struggle and success maps. Mia, this is just, I'll show you again at the top, but this is just a map of you, things you struggle with, things that you've been successful with in your past, your present, and like your future. What are you wanting to be successful with? What are you hoping not to struggle with in the future? You know, it doesn't have to be all like right now. Go deeper into where you've been and where you're going. In your photo album, start making folders so that it's easier on your brain when it is time to create a post and you're working smarter, not harder. Don't sue Google Keeper Notes, but start using them. And then at the end, the big takeaway, like I was telling Kelly, like I know for me that if I had a whole night to plan a therapy session for one kid, I would take all night to plan a therapy session for one kid. If I had, like we all have had 10 minutes to plan a therapy session and you're grabbing shit on the go and it ends up being one of your best therapy sessions actually, then you can plan a therapy session in 10 minutes with a box of paper clips and a thing of Tootsie Rolls. So like, you guys, I know your brains. And I know that we're perfectionists, but at the end of the day, like this, you're going to become really good at this going forward and, be creative and use this as a way. Like, I'm not lying when I say this has been so cathartic for me to do this. And I have healed. And like when I was talking about my Instagram stories today, saying things out loud in this book, it's talking about getting tasks done and creating good habits and like saying it out loud so you like get tasks done. But when I thought about it further, I'm like, oh my God, like I've been doing this to get like my workouts done, yes, in the beginning, but this has been so healing for me. And like, I understand things more when I say them out loud and explain it. And I just pretend like I'm talking like to my best friend or to myself. And it's just when you think about it that way and not like, oh my God, I have to like do an Instagram story. Like you take the robotics out of it and the like, I have to do this because it's a box on my chart. But that's why we share. We share for yourself first. And then the people, the challengers, the coaches that you want, the people that want to change their lives and want you to help them, they're going to find you. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Yeah, and your posts can evoke conversation. These are just some takeaways. Ashley Molstead has a really good video creating content, Mia, if you wanted to jot that down. But you're not just a Beachbody coach. So I don't ever want you guys to post Beachbody this, Beachbody that. We talk about like curiosity marketing. I don't want to see like Shakeology stuff or, join Team Beachbody. I don't want people to know that you're a Beachbody coach, not because I want you to be ashamed of it, but because I want it to build curiosity so that they ask you and that you have more value to add to them versus them going and searching and buying a challenge pack on their own. Because they're getting value from you, your challenge group, and the community. It's not just like, oh, you have Beachbody and you get everything. No, we're not selling. So that's the only reason I want you guys to avoid like plastering Beachbody on stuff. And then like posts should also, Ashley talks about like evoke conversations, like pick a side. I don't mean like talk about like crazy controversial stuff. But have an opinion, and that's okay. Okay. So we have like 4 minutes left. Do you guys have any questions? Stop sharing.
I have one that's not about this. So like when people sign up, I sent that girl the share cart earlier, and she's asking now about the subscription. Can they cancel that whenever, like she got the like Energize and Recover?
Yeah, so I always tell people that they can manage their subscriptions afterwards.
Okay.
So that's kind of like my blanket. It gets them away from asking them to, because I would get people like, well, how do I cancel this? And I have to like show them how to cancel. And I'm like, you are a grown up. You can
right.
Look
Or
through
they
it.
want you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, here's my login. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I have had so many people that have had me do that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So just like what's worked for me, and I haven't had it happen since, is I'm just like, you can manage your own subscription afterwards.
Okay.
It's like puts the like You are a responsible adult.
Yeah, or you can like delay it too. Like I didn't need Energize and Recover this month, so I like delayed it.
How did you not need Energize?
I don't need as much of it as I don't do as many scoops as you guys do.
Like 2 heaping scoops.
I know, I'm just like, one is good. I like sometimes I'll take a shot because if I have like too much liquid beforehand, it usually
Yeah.
That just means you haven't built up your
Yes.
tolerance.
Good for now because I don't need 2 a month.
Yeah.
True.
All right. Okay, so any more questions about that? Was that helpful? I just want everybody to know the importance, and like that is part of our job too. Like, and I said at the beginning, like your store is not open if you're not posting.
Mm.
So
I know my problem this week has been my school has horrible service, so I'll like record a video and I need to start just doing it on a video or find a better app. Because you know when you go to upload it on a story and it like won't load, so then it's just lost if you did it on Snap or on Instagram.
oh yeah.
So then I was like, okay, I give up.
Yeah.
I was frustrated this week, so I just need to get out of this week.
Yeah, you'll find your rhythm, and you guys are all in adjustment periods right now, so give yourself grace and
Yeah.
figure it out. But this gives you like, okay, I know I need to do this, and why it's important. Because I think if I tell you guys, okay, just post every day, and you don't know why, like it can be tedious, and I don't want it to be something that's tedious for you. I want you to know that it's gonna drive your business. And that's why I post every day. And I post to make a difference in people's lives. And I hope to make people laugh and connect with me. And that's what it's all about. So, all right. Do you guys want to hop back on for a little bit and catch up, or are you guys good? You good?
I get I don't have my phone on me. A boomerang.
Yep. Quick.
I know where you're going.
That thing.
I was like, what?
Are we doing a boomerang?
Oh, this is just a picture.
Um.
Okay.
All right, girlfriends, I can't wait to see all your posts this week. We're going to have the best content out there.
Happy hump day.
Hump day.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, girls.
Bye.
Hi.